Welcome back, everybody, to the Small Business Advocacy Council. I'm here today. My name is Mike Cavanaugh. I'm the co-CEO and co-founder of the Small Business Advocacy Council. And I'm here today with Phil Zeni from the ChicagoDoctor.com. And we're going to have a nice time learning about a new project for you, entrepreneurial. Phil, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Chicago Doctor? What is it?
The ChicagoDoctor.com is a multimedia platform that serves the medical community, both on the professional medicine side as well as healthcare, the business side, in an exciting new way that combines both traditional media as well as new media, and serves the majority of the physician and healthcare community in that regard. There was nothing like that when we started looking around for a new opportunity some time back, and we were delighted to find that there was this great opportunity here. Great.
And we were talking a little bit before in the green room, so to speak, before the interview about, really why now? Why did you get into this? Maybe you can expand on why are you the guy? Why is now the time? Why ChicagoDoctor.com is what it is?
It's less of why did I get into it as why did I get back into it? Right. Because a few years back, at the dawning of the websites being available to individuals and to companies, I had a publishing company in Phoenix, Arizona, and we were publishing principally professional magazines in regional editions, and we saw this new opportunity, so we created a new magazine that was called Today's Healthcare, and we did an adjunct website called Physician RecruitNet that was interactive, that physicians could find new places to relocate, or new physicians could help find a place, and at the same time hospitals and medical group practices could recruit new doctors. So we created several of those around the country, and that worked well. I've always been intrigued by the idea of cross-platform combinations of different sorts of media. And this goes way back in my career, starting with radio. We added print, and then later in cable television we added radio, and then we added in television we added a print component, and then eventually it has now devolved into back then and now taking print and mixing it with the internet, websites, but also social media now that has become so exciting. And we also feed all the major social media and do an e-newsletter and all the other things associated with multimedia production.
It's fascinating because it's not your first rodeo, so to speak, and that you've identified that cross-platform over time, and this is just kind of the next foray, print and internet. It's great, and we were kind of talking about some of the why as well. The age, maybe you could explain to the listeners how you think the print internet combo is really significant now with the demographics of doctors.
Yes, there's a temptation for people to say, well, everything is moved to the internet. Well, excuse me, not everything is moved to the internet. And if you go to the corners of most of the major intersections in Chicago, you see several, in some cases a dozen different newspaper boxes that get filled up every day or week, and also get emptied every day or week by readers who come along and pick it up. So print's not dead. I saw a bumper sticker the other day that said, if you can read this, print's not dead.
Right.
Well, print's a long way away from being dead. Newspapers of general circulation have suffered, but niched, specialized newspapers, and we have one that is niched by both geography and by subject matter, have a very, very long life ahead of them. To answer your question, the demographics of the medical community, according to the Chicago Medical Society's membership, and they should know, they divide their membership into three demographic groups: 25 to 45, 45 to 65, and 65 plus. They say that a third of their members, roughly, are in the age range from 25-45, a third are 45 to 65, and a third are 65 plus. What that means is if you take those last two categories, 45 plus, adding the last category, nearly 70% of the physicians in Chicago are 45 plus years of age. Well, these people grew up with newspapers and they read newspapers, and they're not going to quit reading newspapers for a very long period of time. But we're also cognizant of the younger demo, and we do indeed, as you were mentioning, see a time when the readership, the viewership will shift, and we're already there. We're there with a website that has an absolute reflection of everything that's in our newspaper, plus a little bit more because we have video embedded in our website, and of course we haven't figured out yet how to put video in the newspaper.
Yeah, who knows? That was the Minority Report movie with Tom Cruise. Maybe that technology will come about. It's fascinating. The other thing I'd like to at least talk about, and give you the opportunity to talk about to the audience is, who is the audience? Who's reading the paper? Maybe who's even advertising? What's good for the newspaper to get it in the hands of more doctors? Well,
we very deliberately have a business model that has us mailing 10,000 copies of the newspaper, and it's produced 6 times a year at this point, every 2 months. We mail 10,000 copies to the name and licensure address in offices, hospitals, facilities, homes of the physicians. And in addition to that, we send about another 1,300 to the senior administrators of the 22 hospitals that are in our coverage area, to consultants, to healthcare managers, practice managers, and suppliers and vendors to the industry. It's a tremendously large group, and yet we're able to really get down to the heart and the target of it. We also, in the industry, there's the assumption that a publication like this gets a pass-along readership as people read it, and they pass it along when they lay it around, other people read it.
I passed my most recent copy out to 2 people.
There you are, you see. And the number that's used by the industry is 2.5. So
if I find a half person running around, I'll share it with them too.
Please do, please do. That gives us a total readership estimate of in excess of 28,000, which for the size of this community is pretty significant. This is not B2C. This is not business to consumer. This is not even B2B, business to business. This is B to MD, okay? This is business to MD. And as a result, you're talking about a very narrow slice of the world here. And we are super serving them with hyper-localized news, no national filler. Everything is freshly written, originally written, and never published before to be in the newspaper. And then, of course, we use it in the website as well. Got it.
No, I like that. The B to MD tag is that's funny. I like that. So the last question is more self-serving. We've got an event coming up.
You do have an event.
Recently connected through an SBAC member. They said you have to talk to Phil. As everybody in the SBAC knows, I've been working on this event. The staff, our members, the committee, everybody's been so this is our big event. It's the Healthcare Summit and Business event. Maybe you want to share a little bit. We're partners on the event.
Yes, absolutely. We're partnering on that. We will cover it. We'll be there. We'll do stories. We'll shoot it, the photos for use on our site. The Small Business Advisory Council and MCHC, which is the Metropolitan Chicago Healthcare Council, for anybody who doesn't know that, and B2B Jewish Network are the primary sponsors and underwriters of this, and this event will be at Drury Lane in Oak Brook Terrace on November 10th.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to being there and meeting lots of folks. There's a temptation to just go and spend until you just can't hardly move anymore, but we'll try to use our time wisely and meet a lot of folks who are there.
Yeah, and we're really looking forward to having you at the event.
Thank you.
We'll love to see the follow-up. Hopefully we get a good review
absolutely
for the day of the event, and we're really excited and really looking forward to it. So
good.
Thank you so much for coming on today, and we'll see you in Drury Lane on November 10th in the ChicagoDoctor.com visit it on the World Wide Web. And that is the address too, thechicagodoctor.com.
It is thechicagodoctor.com, all jammed together. You got to put the "the" in there in order to make it work.
And if you're interested in that B to MD space, whether you're an MD or one of the Bs, check it out.
Yeah.
Thank you.